Hello and welcome back everybody to the channel. It is I, your host, Tony Talks. I'm back. It's been a few weeks and there's going to be some changes. Normally I post video game content, me playing video games. If you've watched any of my videos over the past few years, my hardware cannot handle the ideas I have. It is just not powerful enough, and I've tried to make it work, and I just can't. But the point of this channel, it's not called Tony Plays, Tony Records, Tony Dies a Lot in Video Games. No, it is called Tony Talks, which is why I'm going to transition to what I kind of started with. Remember, way back when I did a video with a similar format where I talked about wrestling. It's just kind of a test to see if I could do scripting and pay attention and do all that. And it's kind of hard right now with life with the toddler and just how busy I am working to watch live wrestling and such. So, but it was a test and it was received very well. I got a lot of views and people told me they liked it, which is why for the time being, until I could get better hardware, and God knows when that'll be, may not be anytime soon. I'm kind of going back to my roots of just me on screen talking. So I'm introducing a series where or not where, but what I call Tony Talks Random Draw. So here in my hat, my WrestleMania, what number was it? XL 50? No, 40? 45? Whatever, I forget what Roman numerals. I think it's, well, let's see. So I don't embarrass myself. Let's fact check. I think it's 40. XL Roman numeral. It is 40. I was right the first time. WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. I did not actually go to the actual WrestleMania, but I was really sick that weekend, and my wife said she was going to get me tickets. But I said, I'm sick, don't do it, because I would have had to went by myself. It was outside. But the Raw after WrestleMania, which was always a dream of mine, my mom got 2 tickets and my mother took me, and it was awesome to go to the Raw after WrestleMania. To me, watching it live, that show is always better than WrestleMania itself, especially over the last, I'd say, 10 years. It was amazing to go to. But I have my WrestleMania 40 hat here. And inside I have a bunch of tickets of random topics that I like or I know a lot about and that I want to talk about and engage with other people and share my opinions and what I like and what I don't like. And I'm just going to draw a few topics out today, talk about them, and go from there. So please, any topics you think I should add to the hat, let me know down in the comments. I'll write it up. I'll throw it in the hat. And we'll see if we draw it, and we can talk about it. And engage. Write in the comments if you agree with what I say, you disagree. Tell me what you think about, what I have to say. I'm here. I want to entertain. I want to engage. But most importantly, I want to talk about the things I like and the things I love. So let's give it a good shuffle. Let's close our eyes. Give it a good shake. And let's see what we draw. Let's see. Topic number 1. Well, this is fitting because there's only one topic of this in the hat at the moment. But it's something I love to talk about. And we got current WWE champs. I only wrote out one wrestling topic because there's so many and I could go on for hours, but I wanted a lot of variety. Now, in writing this out, I didn't know what I was going to talk about. If I was going to do just the world champs or all the champions, because WWE has a lot of belts right now. But we'll start with the world champs. Right now, I know the WWE World Heavyweight Champion is none other than the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, who won the belt at WrestleMania 40, beating Roman Reigns. That was awesome to watch. He had an amazing story, amazing comeback, and he's also just a great guy in real life. I actually had the pleasure of meeting Cody Um, so it feels so long ago because I had so much more hair then. Because I was just looking at the picture the other day. That's how I know it was eons ago. But I met him when he was in Ring of Honor. So before Ring of Honor was bought out by AEW um, and all that, years and years ago, they were always down at the Swanson Street, the 2300 Arena back home. I'm from Philadelphia. So for a good 8-year period, every time Ring of Honor was in town, I got tickets and I went and I would go and I do the photo ops with everybody. Um, but we went. I think it was the show before Final Battle or after Final Battle. I remember it being cold out, but I signed up for a photo op to meet Cody, and me and my wife, we were dating at the time. I took her to the show with me, and she didn't know any of the wrestlers, so she didn't want photo ops. But there's not like there wasn't professional camera people there. You had to use your phone, so I would pay for photo ops, and she would take my photo. So I went up to meet Cody. She was taking my photo, and he goes, "Does she want to get in?" And my wife was like, "No." And we were like, "Well, we didn't pay, but if I was like, if you want a photo with her, I could go buy the ticket for her. Whatever." What you go when Cody Rhodes asks you for a photo? What are you going to say? No. He he let her. He let us hold the belt. I think he was the ROH champion at the time. He had some sort of belt with him, I'm pretty sure. And let my wife in the photo. I'll add it right here. He let her hold the belt, let her in for a photo for free. He was a super sweet guy, awesome to be around, awesome to talk to. And, before you say, well, he's at a photo op, he's probably just doing that because that's his job or his character. No, no. Years before that, I think right after he left the WWE, him and his wife were in a hotel somewhere in Philadelphia. And my mom was on a business trip there and saw Cody Rhodes and his wife Brandy in the lobby. And my mom goes, "Holy crap, it's Cody Rhodes," and asked for a photo. And she texts us a photo in the middle of the night out of the blue of her with Cody Rhodes, and she said he was awesome. Excuse me. So he's just all around from what I've experienced and family members have experienced in person. He's just all around an awesome dude. One of the coolest stories right now in wrestling. His dad being Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. I put the pieces together what the American Nightmare nickname meant, like, I kid you not, 6 weeks ago. I just thought it was a badass nickname, and then it dawned on me, Dusty was the American Dream. He's the American Nightmare. But he's been putting on awesome matches. The reinvention of Cody Rhodes is awe-inspiring, and I know a lot of guys out there are trying to do it. I know, like, Zack Ryder right now is like trying to do that work in all these indie shows. I think he was at ROH Final Battle, and there's an article how he didn't get offered a contract, but of course I don't know his true intentions, but to me it seems like he's on a similar path because he's breaking away from the moniker that Vince McMahon and WWE gave him, showing, hey, I could wrestle, I could draw, I could perform, and all that. So he's inspiring other guys out there, and just awesome matches. Like a fun fact, like he does like the Cody Cutter. He got that off of Will Ospreay. I watched an interview where he said, if I've beaten you like 3 times, I get to use your moves. So that's why he does the Cody Cutter off of Will Ospreay and some of these other moves. He said that's his reasoning, which I thought is awesome. So it's one of those things where in his match and his storytelling, it's, well, I learned this from this guy outside of here on my path back. So it's just small stuff like that. It's just awesome to see. And like I say, he's just an all-around good guy, and I couldn't think of anyone else more deserving to win the big one. So moving on, the WWE Universal Champion right now, none other than the Ring General, Gunther, formerly known as Walter. Man, when I was talking about him to my wife the other night, we were watching wrestling, I showed her a picture of what he looked like prior to losing all the weight. She couldn't believe it because he was a big guy. He was pretty heavy set, and he would move around that ring pretty swift. He's known for his chops and stuff, but man, can Gunther wrestle. And he's awesome on the mic. He's doing an awesome job right now, just disrespecting everyone. Um, and it's awesome. I think he's scheduled to have a match with Goldberg. But if anyone here is a wrestling fan, go watch some of his indie stuff or his NXT UK stuff. He would be all over the world just throwing it down, chopping people, beating the living hell out of them. Germany, England, the US, Japan. So I've been following him for a long time, and I was excited when he finally made the jump from NXT UK to just regular NXT, and then on to the main roster. He beat Honky Tonk Man's IC title, continuous days held record. And like I said, he could just wrestle. He could talk on the mic. He could do it all. And he's just awesome to watch. You believe it when he chops someone. You feel it, and I'm not feel bad for Jey Uso. I think he's fighting him at a Saturday Night Main Event in a few weeks. Let's see, continuing on Raw. I think the IC champ right now is I think it's Braun Breaker. Where my dog's at? Son of I almost said Scott Steiner, son of Rick Steiner, the Steiner Bros. Braun Breaker is just another one of those guys. Literally like his father and his uncle, a genetic freak. That dude is huge. The way he runs around the ring and the way it shakes, the speed, the ferocity, that dude is insane. I was a little confused when they had him lose to Jey Uso just to win it back, and then Jey Uso kind of forgot he won the IC title. And Michael Cole said the other night, Monday night, when he challenged Gunther, this, if Jey wins, it'll be his first singles championship. But, I watched Jey Uso win the IC title on Raw from Braun Breaker just for Braun to take it back. I thought that was weird. I don't know what was going on. I know they threw Jey back with the Bloodline for Survivor Series, but it was weird. But Braun Breaker is literally a dog, and there's nothing else I could say about that. I think right now the United States champ is Nakamura. Let me Google that. I'm pretty sure he's still holding the belt. I don't really watch SmackDown. I normally watch Raw. U.S. champ, WWE. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Who is current? It is Shinsuke Nakamura. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I know he just beat LA Knight. I didn't watch the match. Nakamura. I'll never forget when I was in high school and really got into wrestling outside of the WWE. When I branched out of my thought of there's only one wrestling company. Well, I used to watch TNA too, but that's who was always on TV. And when I really went and discovered New Japan, ROH had a show, War of the Worlds was the tag, and they'd have New Japan guys come over. And at that time, Young Bucks were on fire. That's when they were all over the indie scene and ROH and stuff, doing the crazy stuff. I really wanted to see them. But the New Japan guys were coming in town too. And I think it was Tanahashi and Nakamura. I think they fought the Young Bucks. It was either the Young Bucks or the Kingdom. It was someone, but it was my first time seeing Nakamura. And just that guy's charisma's through the roof. I mean, if you get to see him live, it's a treat, especially way back in the day, because WWE is a much different style than the traditional Japanese style, the strong style. I mean, he still has those strong strikes, the kicks, the blows. But when you watch sort of, other brands, it's a lot more hard hitting, and, fast paced and stuff. But he was awesome. I remember looking at my dad on the ride home. I was like, he's going to be huge. And then he eventually signed with the WWE. He won the Royal Rumble. Him and Asuka won that year. Their respective Rumbles, and then he fought AJ Styles for the belt. And AJ Styles versus Nakamura in New Japan were awesome matches, but they were kind of a bummer in WWE. And he never won the big one, which kind of sucked. But he's another one. Go back, watch some of his non-WWE stuff, and you'll just fall in love with wrestling. Because that guy, he is awesome. Like I said, he's a treat to watch. There's actually a match before he became the Nakamura we know. Way back, Brock Lesnar used to be New Japan Pro Wrestling champ, and he fought Brock Lesnar. I forget, I think he might have got squashed in that match. I can't quite remember, but back when Brock left the WWE before going to UFC, he was just doing side quests. So Brock versus Nakamura happened. So go watch that on YouTube, because I'm pretty sure it's probably awesome. Right now, I think moving on to the women's champs, I think the SmackDown's women's champ is Tiffany Stratton, Tiffy Time. Don't really know much about her. Like I said, I don't watch SmackDown. I don't really watch NXT. So, good for her. I know she was Miss Money in a Bank. From what I told, she puts on awesome matches and she's a big draw. But I just don't have enough to say about her. And I don't know who the Raw Women's Champ is. Who is Raw Women's Champ? Let's see. Oh, it's just Tiffany Stratton. Let's see. Let's see here. I don't want the history. Show me the list of champs. Who's the champ? Okay, I guess there's only one Women's World Championship, and it's Tiffany Stratton. But I thought there was two. I thought they had a Raw and a SmackDown. Oh my gosh, I'm a dummy. I'm literally a dumbass, because you know who the Raw Women's Champion is? I just watched. I drew a blank. You know who it is? It's Rhea Ripley. I just watched her beat Liv Morgan the other night. How can you forget that? That's just me. It's like 10 o'clock on a Saturday after a long work week. I'm just out of it. It's literally Rhea Ripley. She just beat Liv Morgan, and The Undertaker came out, which was weird, but whatever. The drew in viewers, I guess. But Rhea Ripley, mommy. If you want to talk about... Now, see, I do watch a lot of Rhea Ripley because I watch a lot of Raw. And the Judgment Day has been on Raw, like, every Raw for, like, 4 years, it feels like. But you want to talk about a transformation. Watch Rhea Ripley's... Just her appearance and character. When she came in at the Mae Young's Women Classic years ago to where she is now. She was just tall, long, blonde hair, smiling. And you look at her now, the short black hair, the goth mommy, or whatever you want to call her gimmick, just going in, taking names and kicking ass. I mean, she has been incredible. She just rolls with it and goes with the flow, and it just works. I mean, the whole Judgment Day thing, that whole group is awesome. And her leaving and beating up Liv, who took her spot, and the whole Dom storyline. It's awesome to watch, and she's just kick-ass, man. You can't say anything about it. Everyone loves her. I haven't seen anyone that doesn't like her. She's awesome in the ring. She's awesome on the mic, and that's all there is about that. So I hope she has a long run. I know she lost the belt, I think, due to injury. So hopefully she could hold it for a little while longer. Let's see here. So I think that's all the WWE champs. It's kind of all I got on them for right now. Like I said, I'll add more WWE topics in there. I could go on about just wrestling in general for probably weeks if I had to. But I don't want it to be just wrestling. I want it to be other things. I like all things pop culture. So let's shake up the wrestling hat. WrestleMania 40. Let's see what we get. Let's see, eyes closed. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we're going to get passionate about. Ooh. Fallout 4. If you followed me on Twitch, I started a Fallout 4 series, Survival. I'll preface Fallout 4 with this. I have fond memories of the game. I still play it quite a bit. The Fallout series in general is one of my favorite. And this is an unpopular opinion. This might be a hot take. This might be an extremely hot take. Fallout 4, from 3 on, is probably my personal favorite. I love all of them. I love 3. I love New Vegas. Well, 76 is bleh. But we'll talk about those games because those topics are in there. Because they all have their own independent stories. So I threw them all in there. But Fallout 4, I remember when the game dropped, my best friend got the game. And we were at his house, day 1 launch. And we're playing it, and he's creating his character. And he made it look like our psychology teacher. And it looked like him spot on. I think I pissed my pants laughing. It was so funny. I went home. I think I asked my dad for money because I didn't get my paycheck yet from work, and I bought the game. I have so many hours in that game. Let me see if I can pull it up here on my Xbox app. But I think the graphics, the story, the DLC, the weapons, the companions, everything about that game I love. So let me see if I get the hours pulled up. I don't want to say that out loud, but I did. There's a bug down here. There's a bug down here. But yeah, I'm loading this in. Let me. So the game starts. Number 1, the character customization portion is awesome because you start off. You're in the mirror, Nate and Nora, before you change their names. It's their default names. You're in the mirror, and they're getting ready for his big speech. About being in the military and all that. And just the customization there, like the way they flowed with it is awesome. Because I think Fallout 3, it was just like, let's see what you'll look like. This is a future resonator. And then Fallout New Vegas, they're like, your face got blown off. Let's patch you up. So this one, it was just kind of like a real down to earth. It's like, okay, they look like this. You can imagine they look like that before they load it in. Because then they leave the mirror and go on with their day. And just the soft opening into, if you're speedrun the game, it sucks. But the soft opening into the game world of you're exploring your house, you're exploring the mechanics, you're setting up your special perks, getting your name, getting the story of how we became the Vault Dweller and got in the vault, we're the sole survivor in this game is the character's name. But the TV, announcing the bombs dropping, the run with whatever, if you're Nate with Nora holding Sean, or if you're Nora and Nate holding Sean to the vault, the action packed, like, oh, we gotta go. Now I'm not gonna lie, as a kid, like whatever they're running, sucks. You run all you want, who cares? Just whatever. Now as a dad, when I replayed that opening scene, like imagine that now as a dad, like holy crap, nukes are dropping. I gotta get to a vault and I gotta make sure my kid is safe. It's a whole. When you have kids, everything's a whole different experience. You see everything in a different light. Like playing the game, you're like, oh, that guy killed my wife and stole my kid. I want to go blow stuff up. Playing it now as a dad, I'm like, oh my god, that guy took my son in a post-apocalyptic world. What the fuck? It's just so crazy. just the feelings you could have going back and playing these things at a different portion in life. Um, but you wake up in the vault, you fight your way through, you get the tutorial, you go right to Sanctuary. They got the settlement building, which it's like people are like, oh, this is stupid. Like, dude, you can make so much caps off the bat. Just scrap Sanctuary, build water purifiers as many as you can, get survivors, sell water nonstop. Then you got money for all the ammo and gear in the world. First off, you get the idiot savant perk and just build shelves and destroy them and level up like 30 times before you leave Sanctuary. Get perks you need. I think a lot of it is, I know a big gripe that people have, and I would have to agree, is Fallout is, you really, before you had the choice to be evil and do anything. This one, the choice is like everything kind of leads you down the same path. Sorry, I'm fighting a bug down here. Everything, just kind of leads you down the same thing. All 3 of the 4 endings have you destroy the Institute and everyone else, and then if you pick the Institute, you destroy everyone. So, it's all kind of the same, where New Vegas had different implications and whatnot, and who you had help you. And Fallout 3 was kind of, you could destroy everyone in the Capital Wasteland. But let's see here. So time played, 23 days, 14 hours, 35 minutes. That is insane. And I think that might be on my new Xbox. I don't know. I don't know if that calculates the old one, but 23 days cumulative of time I've spent in that game, almost a month. That's what I mean, like when I say I love Fallout 4. It is amazing. I'm like, what? Let's talk about what I love about it. Let's see. We already went over the opening. I love the gunplay. VATS is in every game, but I really like the selection of weapons in there. The pipe weapons I know people crap on, but they're meant for the early game, and they're just so fun to mess around with because you could get 38 rounds so easy. My cat's in the background there. But you got the pipe weapons, and then you get up to the next tier. You got the assault rifle, the combat shotgun. They got any game with a double barrel shotgun I'm going to love because I just love the aesthetic of the double barrel shotgun. And I'll tell you why if we ever pull the topic out the hat of that made me love double barrel shotguns. But the assault rifle, you get the Overseer's Guardian variant that shoots 2 projectiles at once. Dude, game's over. You take down every enemy with that. You just breeze through and have fun doing whatever you want. Combat shotguns are awesome. Heavy assault rifles look weird, and I wish they did bring back the Chinese assault rifles from Fallout 3. But hey, man, it's their game. They can make it however they want, and we just, we decide to pay for it and play it, man. I mean, that's all there is to it. A lot of people, they shit on Nick Valentine. Nick Valentine is that guy. I'm not going to lie. I like him. But I also like me personally, I like older movies and certain genres. And Nick Valentine is that old, 50s New War vibe. His character, he's an old school detective from way back when. Of course, he's not really because he's a robot with memories implanted in his brain. But nonetheless, I think that's why I'm drawn to him, just because I like stuff like that. Who are some of the other companions? No one hates dog meat. Everyone loves dog meat. My wife loves dog meat. He's an awesome companion, but I don't really play with him that much just because he's dog meat, if that makes sense. He's just a dog. Only does bite people. Like, yeah, you can have him find loot and stuff, but, I like it when the characters talk and give backstory and stuff. You got Piper, the news lady. She's alright. She's an okay character. I find her annoying. As opposed to Kate. Kate's pretty cool. That Irish, thick Irish accent. You pick her up in an awesome quest where you got to fight in the cage and you take out all the raiders. Betting on her to lose, and she's on like a winning streak, and you buy her contract. So, Kate's awesome. Who's another one? Strong, the super mutant companion. The milk of human kindness is what he's searching for. He's funny. Um, and that dude's just crazy in general. Just gonna put that out there. Strong is one crazy mofo. Who else we got? McCready, who we'll touch on when we get into Fallout 3, but we'll talk about in Fallout 4. He's all grown up, you know, out from the Gunners. And, Fallout being a role-playing game where it's like you kind of get to choose. You kind of make your own story. There's my other cat. McCready's like, oh, my son is sick. So when I play, if I'm playing like on a good character run, I'm like, okay, I pick up McCready. It's like, I know what it's like to lose my son. Let me help you. And you build affinity to do the quest so he can get the cure. Who are you judging? That's my cat. That's Ash. He's named after my favorite movie character. We'll maybe pull him before this video's over. But McCready is just another one of those characters. We've seen him before. There's a time jump, from when we first saw him to now. And his character's developed, and he's an awesome shot with a sniper. So we got Deacon. Deacon's funny, mysterious little boy, always lying to us. I love that. And this is well known, but Deacon's a spy for the railroad. You see him in multiple parts of the main quest up until you actually meet him, which is awesome. I wish he was in other parts of the game that weren't main quest related. So, like, say you wanted to explore some other parts when you're not supposed to. I wish Deacon was there as well, and you could see him as a random NPC. I think that would be just an awesome touch. Say you're near the fish packing plant, all the way at the far end of the map. You're one of those communities or whatever, and he's there, or somewhere near the glowing sea, because you don't go there till after you meet the railroad. I just think stuff like that would be cool, but of course, it's their game. They designed it how it was, and of course, they want us to play games in a linear way, but no one plays games in a linear way. Especially not a series like Fallout. Who are some of the other companions? I'm trying to think main game. We got Paladin Dance, Ad Victorum. Another one I don't think people really like. It's like people really love him or really hate him. I really like Paladin Dance. He has a very complex story where he's very into the Brotherhood and what he does, and he believes it, and he thinks all synths should get eradicated. And kind of the plot twist, spoiler alert, when he finds out he is a synth in those internal battles, and it makes you think in the story, like, well, if you're doing a Brotherhood run, or like the first time you played the game and you think the Institute's bad, well, it's like Dance is a synth, but he has these complex feelings and he can't even believe it. So it's like, maybe I should save the synths. Maybe the Brotherhood isn't right. And of course that's an adult mind thinking. I played this game when I was 17. I was not thinking that way. I was like, blow him up and give me that. I'm making a video here. My cats are fighting on the stairs. But I'm like, give me that quest XP and those rewards. Handed in them dog tags to Elder Maxon. Who the other? X-23, the Institute companion. He's a synth. He's a courser. I find that he's just, I don't know, he's boring. He's cool. He's got like an awesome aesthetic, but I mean, that's about it. Like, he's all right. Like, at least with Dance, like, if you save him and don't kill him and keep the companion, like, he'll get upgraded armor. Things will change. What is it? Like, Nick Valentine's companion quest is awesome. Getting Eddie Winters, finding the holotapes throughout the map as you explore. Kate's quest to the Vault, I think 94 is awesome. Curing her. I don't think Piper has a quest I can't think of. A Strong, I don't know if he has a quest. Deacon, he talks about, a whole bunch of stuff, but all he do is lie, so I don't believe anything he says. So, but like, I think maybe that's why I like Dance and Nick Valentine as well. They just have some pretty cool quests tied to them. Same with McCready. Where like someone like X-23 is just, I don't know, he's just kind of there. And you got the DLC companions. You got Ada the robot. Her whole caravan gets taken out by the Mechanist robots, and that was a cool addition, I think, to the game. DLC wise, you get to build your own robot, or robots, because you can upgrade Ada or make your own robot. That maybe isn't as annoying because her voice lines do piss me off after a while. But I thought that was cool because you could build her into a giant sentry bot. You can make her, just nothing but a Mr. Handy thruster and like two giant arms, where like an Assaultron head. And it's the same thing. I'll make you think, like, especially if you're doing a Brotherhood run, like, she's not even a synth. She's just a robot. And she's feeling sad about her, her creators being destroyed by the Mechanist robots, and dealing with, like, I was meant to serve a purpose, but the people I'm serving it for are gone. And so I always take her with me to take down the Mechanist. I always kind of feel bad. She's like, oh no, my group. After, like, while I'm over there looting their bodies, I'm like, give me the armor. I don't think they have like armor, but I'm like, give me the laser weapons, give me the computer scrap, give me all you got. She's like, I'm so sad, but hey, what are you gonna do? I gotta make caps. I think after that we had Far Harbor. You get Longfella. He's just just a good fella. You know what I mean? He's just drinking on the island. He's like, don't go in the fog. You know where to find me. Bring me some whiskey. He's all right. He's fun to play around with in Far Harbor. I normally take Nick with me, though, because it's like synth-related stuff. For me, I like to play with Nick Valentine in Far Harbor because we're helping out one of Nick's friends to find their daughter who thinks they're a synth, and we're doing detective work. So it makes sense for me to have the detective, one of the main characters of the DLC there, if you know what I mean. So, I normally send Longfellow back to his cabin and just keep Nick Valentine. And after that, we got Nuka World, and it's Porter Gage. He's badass. He's like, you killed the last overboss, I'm just rocking with you. But it's like, do you trust him? Like, at first time you play, you're like, do I even trust you? You just killed your old boss. Like, why am I listening to you? Why don't I kill you to assert dominance? But Porter Gage is awesome. Whenever I do Nuka World, I take him with me. I clear them parks. And, just do whatever with him. Dude, I hate clearing those parks. Nuka World DLC, man, the main quest man, they're hard. They're hard. I'll have to make, like, the DLCs their own separate topic. Let's get back to the main, like, the base game of Fallout 4 before all those extras came in. So we reviewed all the companions. Let's talk about the factions. We first get introduced to the Minutemen at the Museum of Freedom. Preston Garvey, one of the greatest meme characters of all time. There's another settlement that needs our help. But he's part of the Minutemen, which is a group of ragtag militiamen that help protect the Commonwealth of Boston. I like that. Fallout is, the whole parody of America and patriotism, but like real history and like the beginning of our country and the Revolutionary War and stuff like that. The Minutemen, I thought that's an awesome name, just because the Minutemen in real life were so badass. They're called the Minutemen because they were supposed to be ready in a minute to protect their land and all that, and they would just have all their muskets and their boys ready, and they'd be like, we're the Minutemen. So I think it's awesome, like, that they integrated that into this, because it's the same thing. Like, the world's going to shit, and we're in Boston. Very integral to the beginning of America in real life. So having a group called the Minutemen, and they're wearing the same get-ups and all that, the trifold hats and the jackets, and they got the laser muskets. I think it's just an awesome, like, revisioning of history, like real life history. And just like, it's like in the roots of real life, but they made it their own in the game. And so what, the quests are annoying or whatnot, the Radiant quest, I think the group's awesome. And Preston Garvey is a companion. I forgot about him. I never take him nowhere. I just know He just stays a sanctuary. But and after that, like linear wise, you run into the Brotherhood. You got to help clear out Cambridge Station. You meet Dance, Reese, and Scribe Halen. You go clear out Arc Jet. And they're just kind of chilling until the Pridwin comes and you get Kellogg. The Brotherhood, they're in the game. They're cool. You get a lot of good loot. Like, get free power armor. You get on the Pridwin, which is badass. You get some good vendors and quests. I mean, it's just like, they're so radical in the idea in this game of just, like, kill all synths. Like, Maxon is just insane. But that's the Brotherhood. That's why they had Fallout 3. They had the Outcast and the Schisms and all that. So what are you going to do about that? But, like I said, when I first started playing the game, I picked them a lot just because I thought the gear and the loot was badass. But now as I play nowadays, I tend to pick the Minutemen. It's different. It's cool thinking of a ragtag group taking down the Institute. But yeah, I used to play Brotherhood runs a lot, but I've kind of strayed away from that in recent years. Then we got the Railroad. No one likes the Railroad, dude. If you like the Railroad, let me know down in the chat so I can block you. They're just annoying. They're stupid. Their whole everything is stupid. I do think it's cool, though, with the Railroad. We first see them in Fallout 3. And there's a whole side quest devoted to the Institute and synths and the Railroad and escaping. I think it's awesome that one little side quest in Fallout 3 led to literally a whole game. It led to the main plot of Fallout 4. So the Railroad has that going for them. I love that fact. And, I remember playing Fallout 4. And I'm like, the Railroad, where have I heard that? And then you literally get the Railroad tape in Megaton in Fallout 3. And I was like, oh, dude, this is awesome. It was such a little blip that turned into, like I said, a whole game, a whole story, a whole everything. It was a whole setting. It even expanded into the DLC of Far Harbor, the synths and all that. So it's just crazy, what one idea can turn into. That's what I love about video games and movies and just creative people in general. You can take one idea and expand on it so much and make something so awesome. But yeah, the Railroad has that going for them. I mean, Desdemona, boring. Deacon, cool. Tinker Tom, whack job. Little Drummer Boy, blow his head off every time. Glory, she's alright, I guess. Pam, she's just Pam. She's just a robot, predicts the future. But yeah, I don't think I've ever did a Railroad run. I just don't like them. I get the Deliverer and I dip. I'm gonna be completely honest. I do the faction quest, get the Deliverer, and I don't think I talk to them again until it's time to kill them in one of the quests. Then you got the Institute, the Oogie Boogie Men of the Commonwealth. You find Kellogg. You kill him, you read his mind, you build the teleporter, you get in there. Now here's my thing. So I've been playing this game for, oh my God, I think it came out 10 years ago already. I played this game when I was a teenager, and you don't question much as a teenager. You're just there to play. Now that I'm 27, I really like things with content that make you think. I like mysteries and connecting the dots. You gotta let me know. I don't think Father is Sean. I don't. I think our character, while we may not be a synth, there's that whole theory out there that the main character is a synth, because you could use VATS before you get your Pip-Boy. I think that's just a developer oversight because you were in combat before you got the Pip-Boy. I think that's just, they told that in there. And they had the whole terminal entry, but they took it out. Whatever. I don't know what who we play as, we the player, if we're a synth or not. But I do not think Father is Sean. I think it is a test. I think they use Sean's DNA to make synths. and that baby ain't there. Okay, they used his DNA. They made baby synth Sean, kid Sean, whatever you want to call him, and they perfected the Gen 3 synth. I do not think father is Sean. Um, I don't have proof of this. Of course I don't. But I question it. I was when I started playing, I think it was last year, got into it again. I was like, let me start a new character, and I was like, I don't really think. I think they're playing us and running an experiment. And it's like, well, then why would they make you head of the institute when father dies if you're not really related? It's like, dude, think about science and scientists in real life. Everything is an experiment. The father was probably experimenting to see how the rest of the institute would react. There's probably a higher power watching them. This is my own personal theory. And he wanted to see what would happen if we accepted it and if, someone outside the institute is as smart as them. Out of their inner circle. This guy frozen pre-war. But that's getting too deep into it. But I do not think father is Sean in... My cat's knocked something over. Ooh, boy, they're going to be in trouble. But, yeah, that's my theory on that and Sean. But the Institute, it's a nice area compared to the rest of the world. It's nice and slick, and it's different. It's underground. It's really futuristic, which, all of Fallout's futuristic, but for some reason... the Fallout vibe, even though it's a split between our timeline and the game timeline, and things are more advanced. And although it's futuristic, the way they designed it, it's where it's advanced, but it fits where it doesn't seem that advanced. And when you get to the Institute, you're like, this is advanced. Even though the outside world was their cars were running on cold fusion or whatever, and running on nuclear power and whatnot. But that's just a kudos to the world design in the games. There's my cat again. You just got done knocking stuff over. She's gonna casually walk down. But the Institute I think is awesome. You got some cool side quests like the FEV labs where all the super mutants in the Commonwealth came from the Institute from their experiments. They didn't just migrate there or were made elsewhere. The FEV was made in the Institute. And they dropped them off there, which is a fun fact. And then they got the synthetic gorillas. You're like, what? There's my other cat again. They're going to start fighting, dude. They have no respect. Ash! Psst, 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 psst. Stop looking at her. Stop bothering her. Psst, 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 psst. He's going to bother her. He's going to bother her so bad. But... they got synthetic gorillas, man. They got a whole garden in there. They got the whole synth retainment bureau, where it kind of reminds me Blade Runner with the they got to get the androids and stuff. But yeah, hold up. Let me step away real quick. Sorry about that. I had to step away for a few moments to see what my cat's knocked over. But I think we were talking about the Institute. And don't get me wrong, because I know I said, as I got older, I questioned the Brotherhood and killing the Sins. That does not mean I think saving the Institute is the way to go, because those dudes truly are the boogeymen. They are one of the evilest factions I've seen in any video game. They are, number one, everyone in there is egotistical as hell. You just hate them all. But what they do is despicable. Taking random wastelanders, killing them, and turning them into genetic clones as drones to spy on everyone is just insane. But it's one of those things, you hate them, but you gotta feel bad for what they created, because they have feelings and emotions, and they have the memories of people that were once alive. But they truly are the boogeymen. They're creepy. It's someone... their job was to come up with that idea, and that's scary that came out of someone's brain. But yeah, I think those are all the factions. I won't go over the DLC ones. My cat's being annoying. Um, Faith, go away. They were not down. They don't bother me unless I'm doing something important. Can't be bothered. Go. Don't chew on the wire. But like, what other things do I love about Fallout? Like the Overseer's Guardian's a weapon I love. Getting the shish kebab from the Forged is a good melee weapon that I like to get. Um, the Deliverer's an awesome pistol. Kellogg. I like Kellogg's pistol. I'm a big 6-shooter guy. I would love to own one in real life. I don't own one in real life, but that 44 Magnum Kellogg gives you. You get the igniter. I think it's called the something along those lines. That's 15 points fire damage. It's a Fahrenheit 451 reference somewhere on the map. Those are good, unique weapons. And just like the legendary variant system they added to the game, where you get legendary enemies that drop gear with perks on them. I never get good weapons. I always get crap armor where it's like +3 luck or +2 luck, whatever it is. But I remember first time playing, get my first set of like chameleon armor. I was like, what? Dude, you can just sell all your stealth boys at that point. So like there's a lot of cool stuff they added that I like. I know some people, may not like those changes. I know people don't like the text tree where like it says one thing and you think it's one thing but it leads to another, and how all the speech options always kind of lead down the same path, whereas in the older games you could kind of mess with things and use different skills to unlock speech checks, where this one it's really just charisma based and everything gets the same answer. But like the thing is, like, the voice actor talks this time, dude, they can't record a million things of dialogue for the main character. Whereas in the other, like Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, I kid you not, it was like the same 5 voice actors, and the main character didn't speak at all. It was all text. So, I mean, like, yeah, they could get away with it then. But with this game, I don't think they could. And that's just me looking at it from a realist point of view. Like, I can't get mad about it because I understand. I could connect the pieces as to why they couldn't, because they had a budget, they had to stay within it, and it would just take forever to record all that. So, but I think the map design's awesome. It being in Boston, I wish it was in Philly. That's a very Center City, Philadelphia, where they signed the Declaration. They got Washington, they got Boston. Dude, they should do a Fallout game in Philadelphia. I think that'd be awesome. But I like the location. Far Harbor is awesome. Nuka World, the spin on Disney World, is awesome. I like the mech in this DLC. It's just overall just a classic in my mind. Well, maybe I wouldn't call it a classic, but it is a definitely holds a special place in my heart in terms of video games and replayability. You can make so many different builds. Like I said, the choices may be limited as opposed to other games, but just make up a story in your head and go with it. That's what I do. I mean, it's not that hard. But yeah, that's what I have to say on Fallout 4. And I think we're running close to an hour, and that's kind of where I want to cap things out at. I think that's where I'm going to end this episode of Random Draw with Tony Talks. We went over WWE Champions and Fallout 4. We got a hat full of other topics that we will touch on next time. Almost dropped the hat. Like I said in the beginning of the video, please let me know whether you agree or disagree. And, let's have a healthy conversation. Don't be how the internet is and just jump at my throat. But let me know down below what you think. Give me some topics you want me to throw into the hat you want to see me talk about. And just let me know what you think in the comments about what we talked about today. I want to thank everyone as always for watching. I always appreciate the love and support, so please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next episode of Random Draw with Tony Talks.